In this video of our beach equipment series, we'll be highlighting the importance of choosing the right types of wader. We'll be talking aspects such as wader material and more, so you can make the best decision before jumping in to buy. We'll start with the all-important aspect of what different waders are made of, including nylon, neoprene and PVC, and how these materials suit different situations. We'll then take a quick look at the different wader footwear options you have available. Finally, we'll then discuss wader size and how your waders should actually fit you best. So what are the main types of material available, and which will best suit your situation? The first type we'll start with is breathable nylon. As their name implies, these type of waders are made from a type of semi-permeable treated nylon that allows air and moisture out, but no water in. As a result, they don't harbor as much moisture or odor when worn. Being breathable and relatively thin, they are also good for keeping you cool and comfortable in hot weather, as well as having the option to wear warmer clothes underneath, if required in colder conditions. This thinner nylon material also tends to be lightweight, making them comfortable for moving around, whether it be walking or casting. A couple of the downsides to breathable nylon waders include not being as strong or hard-wearing as other types of waders on the market. Also, being good at losing heat makes them not the best choice for fishing in colder conditions, though it's important to remember that underlayers of clothing can be worn with these waders for better insulation. Another type of wader material is neoprene. Neoprene is a type of synthetic rubber, often used to make diver swimsuit fabric. Neoprene is actually a popular brand name for polychloroprene, but is slightly less of a mouthful to remember, so most people use that name instead. Neoprene waders are a type of non-breathable wader. They also have the best insulating properties of any wader material type, meaning that they can be a good choice for keeping you warmer in colder conditions. Neoprene tends to be more hard-wearing than breathable nylon fabric. This is especially true when thicker material is used, which also gives better insulation against the cold. This option for varying thickness is another bonus that this material offers. Being a non-breathable fabric, neoprene can have more of a tendency to trap moisture or odor. This can possibly reduce comfort, especially in warmer conditions. Also, being more insulating, this means there is a possibility you can overheat if fishing in warmer conditions. Using thinner neoprene waders in this instance can prevent you overheating. Neoprene also tends to be less lightweight and flexible than nylon, restricting movement to a level. This issue again can be reduced by using thinner waders when opting for neoprene. Another type of widely used wader material is PVC. PVC is a type of plastic polymer. Like neoprene, it is also non-breathable. Despite this, it still loses heat well, due to the soft plastic having little insulation. This makes it a good possible choice for summer if wearing summer clothing. PVC is by far generally the most strong and durable wader type on the market, making it ideal for rough or rocky venues, or any maks where you can expect any wear and tear. PVC also tends to be cheaper than other wader material types. Some of the downsides to PVC include being a heavier, stiffer material. This can potentially restrict your movement if wearing underlayers, though this is less of a problem when they are worn as a loose fit. PVC being a non-breathable fabric means it also can retain moisture and odor, making them potentially less comfortable. As it doesn't insulate well, it can also be a colder material to wear in the winter. But again, this can be addressed using underlayers. Just be sure to make sure you have good flexibility when moving. This way, casting and walking won't be hindered. So when it comes to waders, what are our options for footwear? The type of footwear available to you first depends on which type of waders you buy. There are two main footwear types. The first are Bootfoot waders. These come with built-in rubber boots similar to wellies. This means these types of waders don't require you to buy separate wading boots. They are relatively fast to put on or remove, as they slip off or on all in one. As they have a sealed ankle design, this means that there are no gaps that sand can enter to cause any abrasion. It's been suggested that Bootfoot waders are actually warmer, though this is likely to be more product-specific to individual waders. The boots on Bootfoot waders are non-detachable. This means that they are harder to clean and store. They tend to take up slightly more room when transporting, such as in the boot of your car. Being non-detachable, this means the boot choice can't be customized in any way in terms of functional factors like grip as well as how they look, as they are all in one. This can sometimes make them more cumbersome and less easy to put on or remove. Though remember, being all in one will mean they slip off, all in one go. The other footwear types of wader are Stockingfoot waders. These waders do not have boots attached to the bottom. Instead, they have watertight neoprene socks attached to the ankles, which stop any water from entering your waders. This means that you can use your own detachable footwear, which often means the boots will have a better fit. A choice of footwear also means you get to customize the qualities of your boots more, with factors like grip for slippery ground, better comfort for longer walking, and better ankle support for uneven ground. Wading boots also often come with features such as drainage holes to let water out, as well as sealed tongues so less sand gets into your boots to cause any abrasion. You also get to choose your own style in terms of look. Stockingfoot waders are also generally easier to clean, transport and store. Some of the downsides to Stockingfoot waders include the fact that you need to buy wading boots separately in order to use them. Wading boots themselves also aren't as comfortable or practical if they lack drainage holes. The holes allow water to flow out once out of the water, so making sure your boots have these is a wise choice. As Stockingfoot waders use neoprene socks, these can be prone to wear over time, but again, boots that come with tongues fully joined to the boot can prevent this issue. Which brings us to our final section: how both waders and wading boots should properly fit. Waders themselves should have a slightly loose fit when worn. They shouldn't be a snug or perfect fit. Neither should they be extremely baggy. They simply need to have ample room inside them for movement whilst wearing any underlayers you intend to wear, so casting and walking won't be hindered. This is particularly true of stiffer or thicker materials such as PVC. By fitting waders in this way, you also prevent any overstretching of wader material, which can otherwise cause splits or tears along seams. In terms of wading boots, these won't always match your standard shoe size. This is down to the fact neoprene socks are considerably thicker than wearing standard socks alone, so it's important that extra room is given in the boot to keep your feet comfortable. Many wader boot brands approach this issue by requiring anglers to choose one size up from their typical standard shoe size. This isn't the case for all brands, however, with some brands just using a size number which matches your standard shoe size. The only truly accurate way to buy the correct sized boots is to visit any website of a specific brand that you are interested in. Many manufacturers provide specific instructions on how to choose the correct sizes for their products, including with the use of size tables. Another reason why it's better to refer to the manufacturer directly is when you require either a woman's wading size or a child's wading size, as these will differ from many men's wading boot sizes. For women, some manufacturers may instruct you to get one size down in a men's size boot, though increasingly there are now many wading boot sizes that cater for men, women and children, so you have plenty of options. Hi guys, just a quick reminder, if you like my videos and find that you are learning some useful tips, please do remember to click the subscribe button just under this video. Subscribing is completely free. There's no sign-up process as it's all done at the click of a button. Also do remember to hit the like button if you find a specific video interesting and helpful. Doing these things really does help support the channel and allows me to keep making more and more helpful videos that will hopefully make your sessions that much more enjoyable. Thanks so much guys. Now that you have the full rundown on how to buy waders, don't forget that there are important safety aspects to follow when using them. We have a dedicated video on important chest wading safety practices that you may find useful. Feel free to check out the link showing now. We also have videos on how to catch specific species, as well as videos on other beach equipment, conditions, tackle and more. You can find these videos by visiting our channel page by clicking the channel name under this video. Thanks again for watching Lighthouse Sea Fishing Tutorials. Until next time, tight lines.